everyone, this is Hollis from H&G Games, obviously. I mean, that's the channel you're watching this on, hopefully. And, well, as you can probably see here, this is not a video game, which is probably a little bit weird for us since we normally do gaming stuff, but we haven't uploaded in like forever, and I'm currently having like an issue with space on my computer and stuff. So I'm gonna be trying something a little bit different today. So I've had this collection for a little bit of a while, and I thought I might want to show it to you guys. I don't know why, probably just because I'm bored out of my mind. But here it is, I guess. I'm not going to be doing the whole thing today. Probably going to do it in a few different uploads. But I'm just here to kind of show you some of this stuff. It's where I keep the record of everything. So normally I just keep that under here. And here's all of my equipment and stuff. These are just UV flashlights. They don't really do anything best. There's other stuff in there, but obviously I'm gonna have to show you that in another video. But today's just kind of a brief overview of everything. So down here, I don't know if you can see that, but that's the book I just showed you, and this is other UV flashlights and sanding equipment and boxes and stuff like that. Basically just random stuff that I use. There's nothing specific down there, but for the actual box, this is everything that's inside of it. Just gonna peek this open right here. So I've got a lot of stuff, and some of the stuff's a little bit hard to get to than others. I'm talking about things specific to like right here. But I've got quite a working collection so far, and I've been doing this since I was in like 2nd grade. So what that would mean, I'm not even gonna try to do that amount of math, but I'm in 9th grade now, so probably a few years. Anyway, I'm gonna get to showing you these first few boxes right here. So for context, these were the 2 first boxes I ever had of this collection. This one being the first. The second one happened coming afterward because, well, for any of you guys who don't know, which is all of you, I ordered these online in like specific kits with specific ones in it. And the first rock that I ever collected was a piece of lapis lazuli, which all of that goes into this box right here. This first one at least. But there are more, so I'm going to rush through these because I'm sure none of you really care that much about seeing the specifics. But in this first slot is serpentine. Second slot is amethyst. One of the first few rocks I've ever seen. And there are still some labels in this, but I might as well get rid of these because I've had and still have them memorized. And I've had them memorized for the longest time. These are cherts. That's chert, limestone, and obsidian arrowheads. Some of which are in better condition than others. This one has lost its tip. I think I have a pretty sharp one somewhere in here. Maybe not. In here is a venturi. It's a type of quartz, one of the lamer ones. And over here is black lava, which is just a specific kind of, I think it's an extrusive igneous. Obviously, you probably assumed it was igneous if it was lava. Pretty sure olivine grows out of these kind of rocks, but there's not any olivine growing out of that one, so it's not worth that much to me. This next one is black onyx. It's also a type of quartz and a category of onyx. Also a kind of quartz. This is not blue jasper, but I think it's blue agate. This one being banded. This one is carnelian agate. It's the orange one, not the blue one, the orange one. It's actually, no, stay in here. It's actually a pretty nice looking kind of quartz. This next one that tried to steal the spotlight just then was soda. I just said that wrong. Forgive me. Soda light, which is another kind of quartz. I think that's what the white is, but the rest of the blue, I'm not exactly sure. Some of these rocks I know a lot more than others about, so don't quote me on any of this stuff. This next stuff is green jasper. For a long time I thought it was serpentine because of its green color, but no, surprisingly not. So as you probably guessed, another kind of quartz, and I believe that this gold on it is probably some sort of pyrite inclusion. Not 100% sure, but you can fact check me on that if you really want to. This next one is desert rose, otherwise known as gypsum rosette. I believe it's a kind of selenite that grows over compacted, what's it called, pieces of sand over time, which is probably why you see those sand particles in each little fissure of the rock. They grow like flowers, so that's why it's called desert rose. And I have quite a few specimens. Some looking better than others. These are some geodes. This one has a bit of iron in it. That's what the brown stuff is. The rest of these are gate geodes and just regular old chalcedony geodes, so nothing too interesting. That one looks alright. It's banded, kind of nice. Next up is hematite. Metallic looking rock. I'm pretty sure some of these are man-made, but most of these are natural. This is lapis lazuli. This is specifically my first specimen, and I keep dropping these. It's just white calcite, white calcite, lazurite, and pyrite. That's what goes into making the rock that is known as lapis. This next one, probably anyone who's ever seen this before, it's their favorite. It's one of my favorites. This is magnetic hematite, which for the most part is all man-made. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone finding one of these naturally, but they are very fun to play with, trust me. And also hard to get it to fit in the box because they're constantly moving around. But I always find a way. And this is marble. These are just a few specimens I got from my, my box, because who doesn't like marble? Marble's one of the most common subcategories of quartz, normally used in architecture, so why not? These are medium quartz geodes with, I think this is like some kind of limestone on the outside. Here's some pyrite clusters. Here's some quartz points. I have huge versions of these, so I wouldn't get all concerned about looking at these right now. I can show you those anytime. These are limestone. Specifically, some of these I got from the Mississippi River. This is black tourmaline, otherwise known as schorl. Really pretty looking rock with some kind of like hexagonal or something like that. Some really complex crystal system. That's why they have these really interesting lines on the sides of them. Alright, this is another one of my favorites and other people's favorites rocks. I believe these are Arizonan pieces of petrified wood. These come in really pretty colors, and basically they're just wood that's been trapped underneath ground for a really long time. They've turned into nearly rock. Not quite. I mean, obviously there's a difference between this and this. I don't know if you guys could even hear that, but they just sound different. This right here, I believe, is yellow quartzite. I can't really quite see that. It is indeed. This piece, this is yellow jasper, my bad. I cannot see, and I rearranged these recently, so I'm not exactly the best at seeing these. But yellow jasper is a pretty interesting, waxy-looking, vitreous piece of quartz subcategory, so I'm just going to figure out a way to put these back in without upsetting the balance too much. These are red lava specimens. These are specifically the opposite of black lava. I think they're also extrusive. They're intrusive, I believe. And these ones are normally used in fire pits. So that's why you might have seen these before. This is tiger's eye. Now, these are really pretty. When polished, they give off an insane gleam. I honestly feel like, this is my honest opinion, that rocks like tiger eye and red tiger eye deserve their own category of vitriosity because of their special gleam that they get. This next box has a little bit more recent specimen, but still staying at pretty much the same time I got this box. So let's dive in real quick because I don't want to waste too much more time with this video. This first one is something known as anorthosite. I believe it's feldspar mixed with some kind of quartz probably. But it's nothing too interesting. It's more of a mineral than a crystal, but it does have crystals inside of it. I keep dropping these inside. Alright, this next one's really small. It's pumice, and wow, I never get used to how light this is. This is a volcanic rock produced when, if you guys have ever heard of Mount Vesuvius and the destruction of Pompeii, I believe it was. Pumice rained down, and basically people would, and bear with me here, they would drown in the pumice. That's how much there was. So this stuff isn't worth much, but you can find it in like beauty salons when they use it for like filing down nails or something, because they have this really strange crystal structure. I believe it is actually amorphous, meaning that it doesn't have a specific one, but it's really gritty when you feel it in real life and very light. These are more quartz geodes. You can never have too many of these because they are all over the place. That's why I have so many sections for these. This is green fluorite, not fluoride, but I believe fluoride is something that it can be extracted from this mineral right here, which is used in your toothpaste. These are more quartz points. This might actually be chalcedony because it's much more, well, waxy than most quartz. But other than that, all of these are quartz points. Some have some really nice, fine optical properties to them. Putting that in there. Stay. This next one, I believe, is either, it's nice, G-N-E-I-S-S, not nice like N-I-S, or N-I-C-E. These are an interesting specimen that I'm not exactly sure what the composition is, but I just know they're amorphous in their crystal structure, meaning they don't actually have one. This next stuff is Amazonite, if I believe correctly. It looks kind of like aquamarine, but not quite. I have aquamarine, but it is nothing like this. This is howlite. Some of it's man-made, but these ones are completely natural specimen. This next one right here are there. Leopard skin jasper specimen. They are very nice looking in my opinion. And one of the many kinds of jaspers that there are. I actually have two in this one. This one's mahogany obsidian. It's been polished. Kind of hard to do with obsidian since its fractures conchidal. I mean, it's really sharp. This is rhodonite. I can't get the camera to focus in on it, but it's a little free specimen I got when I was shopping for rocks once in Tampa. All of this is chert. Chert's a really common mineral. It's more commonly known as flint. Strike this against metal and it starts fires. You know, by creating sparks, of course. It's really waxy. It's actually really pleasant to roll around in your hands. Next up is unpolished rose quartz. This is citrine, another kind of quartz. This is red jasper. I believe this is sodalite quartz, which it's quartz but with sodalite strands inside of it. That's what the blue is. This next stuff is rutilated quartz, which is a really interesting specimen, especially when I have other pieces of rutile that are more outside of the quartz. But don't know if you see it in this specimen particularly, but there are small golden strands inside of that rock, which are titanium oxide. These are shark teeth, nothing too cool, just some fractured shark teeth I have. This one I tried to turn into a necklace, and as you can probably tell, it didn't go too well. I believe this is mako. I'm not sure. This next stuff is called fuchsite. It's a really interesting rock, and I forget its composition because its chemical equation is about 200 characters long. This stuff almost looks like it's been covered in glitter. Whenever you touch it, you get glitter all over your fingers. Really annoying, but very interesting to look at. I believe it's a type of mica, if I'm correct. Sorry, I just stepped on something. Down here, these are moonstones. Some of these can look really interesting. Some of these look pretty bland. But this one's really flat and kind of cubic. So I'm just gonna put that back in there. These are polished rose quartz rocks. Very smooth, very nice, very fine. This is snowflake obsidian. You can probably tell why it's called snowflake. Snowflakes. This next stuff is apatite with a hardness of exactly 5 on the most hardness chart. And the reason why it's 5, why I said that, I think it's out of here, is because this is like the main mineral used when testing for hardness of other rocks. Lastly, we've got some amber particles. This used to be one full piece, but somehow I managed to drop it and shatter it into a million pieces. But they're still nice pieces, so I'm not complaining. Alright, so that's going to be this first video because this has already gone on for long enough. But these were the first 2 boxes that you guys have seen. And there will be more on the way. I might actually post the rest of these today. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. See you later.